Good morning, Aries. I want to begin with a feeling that's been sitting with me since I started shuffling the cards this morning. Feels like you've grown quieter lately, not withdrawn, not upset, just calmer in a way that people around you don't quite understand yet. And I know that feeling personally. I've had seasons where my own life where I stopped explaining myself to everyone, stopped trying to convince people that my path makes sense, because a path never does. There's always stones, boulders in the ways, trees, curves, maybe rivers, valleys, you name it, but you just keep walking it, and something interesting happens when you do that, and people begin to watch you differently. That's the energy I feel around many of you right now. Some of you may have spent a long time trying to help people understand your intentions. You explained why you made certain choices, and you explained why you needed space. You explained why you were trying to build your life. And lately, something inside you said that that's enough. You didn't argue. You didn't make big announcements. You simply started moving differently. And I feel like people are taking notice of that. Friends in your immediate circle might be a little confused. Family members may be watching you more closely. Co-workers might sense that something about Aries has changed. But what's really happening here isn't distance, it's an alignment. Well, welcome back to Hermit in the Woods Tarot. My name is Matt, and if you are new here, this is a quiet little corner on the internet where we slow things down, listen to what life is trying to teach us. I'm actually sitting here in my little cabin studio, just outside the tree line. The woods still mostly gray this time of year. It's quite rainy outside. But if you look closely, you can see hints of spring starting to move under the surface. That's something the forest reminds me of often. And lately I've been outside raking, doing some pre-gardening kind of stuff, getting all the old junk out of there. I wanted to go get compost, but I guess you gotta pay for it now, so that really sucks. But I don't know if maybe I just didn't see they usually have a free bin. And I ain't got a lot of money. Financially strict with my money right now. As I search for a job as well, so if any of you are out there looking for employment, keep trying. This time I've been off 9 months now and just about to the end of my rope. But the forest teaches us that growth is rarely loud. Roots grow quietly before branches reach toward the sun. If you called to support the channel, go ahead and like the video, subscribe. Let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I always enjoy seeing how far this little cabin studio in the woods manages to reach people. And you're also welcome to leave questions for future readings. A lot of themes we explore here come from conversations with viewers like you. And just as a reminder, this is general guidance. Take what resonates with your life and leave the rest. Your own judgment always will come first. This channel isn't about fantasy escape. It's about truth-seeking, reflection, and growth. And for Aries, tonight's message really feels like a turning point in your life, a moment where you stop trying to be understood by everyone and start honoring the direction your spirit already knows is right. So let's answer some questions. And today I'm using the House of Dragon Tarot deck, and the spread we're working with is the Iron Throne spread. And this is a 5-card spread that explores the smoothest path to claiming what is rightfully yours. The Iron Throne represents power, positioning, decisions, and destiny. Not power over other people, but the kind of personal authority that comes from knowing who you are. And for Aries, I feel like there's a shift coming, a very powerful shift. Many of you are reaching a point where you no longer feel the need to explain yourself constantly. And that can come with job interviews. Although there you really kind of got to explain yourself, but and I think that's difficult for a lot of people, trying to list what you've done, what you accomplished, and trying to find the right words, especially, I'm sure you practice. I practice questions and try to get my story straight. But in the interview, there's always part of it that you leave out that kind of might sabotage you, and that's really difficult to remember certain things. But instead of pushing to be understood, time to let your actions speak. And I feel like that shift has a ripple effect in relationships, work environments, and as well as family dynamics. Some people respect that. Some will question it. There's always those people. Some will realize they only felt comfortable when Aries stays predictable. But overall, I feel like this energy reflects calm and a defining transition. And for Aries, you're reclaiming your voice, not through loud words, but through intentional silence and aligned action. All right, so let's get in here and pull some cards. And what's on the horizon for Aries? What is this transition? Alright, so the first card we pulled is the Three of Blades. And then we'll pull one spirit message. Next we pull the Strength, and this is in reverse. And you may be asking yourself questions like, what am I seeing now? How are others interpreting your energy? What lesson are you learning about boundaries? And next card is the Four of Dragons, and that is in reverse. Get two more and a spirit card. Spirit message. What does Aries... Alright, King of Dragons. That's a good card. And that, I believe, will start showing where your path is heading. So that King of Dragons is key. And the Devil in reverse popped out. Alright, so let's get one more card. And we have the Sun. Alright, I believe the Sun is in reverse. So I feel like some of you are realizing you've been shrinking parts of yourself just to keep certain relationships comfortable. And once you see the truth, you can't really unsee it. And the color energy around the cards feel great, reflective, thoughtful. You're not rushing forward. You're observing. And that's really what this Three of Blades is sort of representing. This first card, it's looking at obstacles from a dragon's eye view. And the Three of Blades tells me that Aries has been... You might be sitting in an internal realization. You might be asking yourself questions like, where do I go from here? How do I communicate with others? How do I show what I'm fully capable of doing? And I feel like some of you might be realizing you've been shrinking parts of yourself just to keep certain relationships comfortable. And the truth is starting to come out. And let's move on to the Strength. And this is in reverse. And this position shows your greatest strength. And interestingly, the card is reversed. And so what I'm feeling here isn't weakness. It's just a quiet strength. Aries might feel more observant lately. Maybe you're noticing things at work. Maybe friends are hinting at things, or maybe family. But you're less willing to justify every little thing. And instead of reacting quickly, you're pausing. And that kind of control takes real maturity. In your love sector, some of you may realize you want deeper connection instead of attention. Maybe just watching a movie, romantic comedy, I think you might be interested in with your loved ones. Maybe playing a game with your children. But I feel like your family needs attention as well. And it would be a very valuable thing to try to get more connection if you haven't. If you've been, career and work focused, maybe take some time and I'm sure you all do. I'm not trying to say you don't, but in career situations, I feel like goals you once chased might suddenly feel outdated. Sometimes that happens when we grow into new versions of ourselves. Next, the Four of Dragons reversed. This card represents the energy that held the throne before you. And the Four of Dragons reverse shows an environment where stability depended on you staying predictable. Again, family roles, friend circles, work environments, places where people were comfortable because they thought they understood you. And now that Aries is moving differently and seeing this differently, they are reconsidering their expectations of you. So some people might be confused, others may finally see you more clearly. Next, we move on to the King of Dragons, and this is the window. And here we see a hidden strength you may have not fully recognized yet. The King of Dragons carries powerful red and orange energy, but it's a controlled fire. Leadership, recent challenges may have shaped this quality in you. Situations that once frustrated you, misunderstandings, moments when you felt unseen, those experiences built something important inside you. Stronger boundaries, greater maturity. This is the courage to walk away when what no longer aligns. And last, this devil energy, which is in reverse. And this is the seat part of the Iron Throne. This position represents the best possible outcome. And the Devil card here speaks about reclaiming your power. It often shows the chains we believe we had to wear, maybe expectations, roles, or old habits. But it's time to let that go, move on, maybe find something new. Aries might be realizing you are limiting yourselves to keep life comfortable, but once you recognize that those chains, you're free to move on from that. Step out of that. You aren't constricted anymore, not bound to that tree anymore. This could show up as career confidence, emotional independence, or trusting your instincts more deeply. So let's move into the spirit message, and that was the sun, and it is reversed. And the sun reverse feels like that quiet happiness returning. It's not a loud excitement, but a gentle peace. There's a yellow light slowly rising through the morning trees, and it's a reminder that joy often will return softly. Alright, so let's move into the astrological insight for this week coming up. And for Aries, this week asks you to commit to what truly aligns with your long-term vision. Sunday, March 8th, Venus meets Saturn in your sign, and it's activating your first house of identity and self-presentation. This can feel like a defining moment around love, finances, or personal values. Meanwhile, the Scorpio moon harmonizes with Pisces sun, and that's helping you to process deeper emotions, but privately. Monday, March 9th, Mercury in Pisces harmonizes with Jupiter in Cancer, supporting intuitive conversations around home and family matters. The Sagittarius moon brings optimism, forms of positive connections with Neptune. Again, Saturn and Venus in your sign. It's restoring your confidence. You might feel a renewed sense of direction. And there's a small story that I often think about. And one morning, the hermit noticed a young oak tree growing along the edge of the forest. The wind pushed it constantly. Snow weighed on its branches, but the tree didn't fight the wind loudly. It simply bent when it needed to and kept growing. Months later, the hermit placed his hand on its trunk and said, "You've learned something the older trees forgot, that strength doesn't need to shout." And it reminds me of Proverbs 4:7. Wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom. And James 1:19, be quick to listen, but slow to speak. And sometimes the strongest thing we can do is trust the quiet wisdom. All right, so let's get into some clarifying cards. And this will be like how your week's going to end, maybe some hidden messages that we might not see. The first card is the Ace of Blades. And that's a power card there. Get one more. And next we pull the Hierophant. Another powerful, looks like a powerful week ahead. The Ace of Blades. This card brings clarity, and it's, you might begin speaking less, but when you do, again, your words carry weight. Truth becomes simple. And next, the Hierophant. This shows wisdom forming within you. And for some Aries, you might be stepping into roles where others begin seeking your guidance. Your hidden strength is not louder fire, it's controlled fire. The ability to act at the right moment and remain steady when the world expects reaction. And this kind of strength often surprises people because it doesn't look dramatic, it looks like calm certainty. So, Aries, closing message here. I would say this reading feels like quiet transformation. You're not losing your fire. You're learning how to guide it. Some people may drift away as you change, and that's a natural part of life. Others will step closer when they recognize the real you. But thank you for spending time here at Hermit in the Woods Tarot. And if the reading resonated, feel free to like the video, subscribe, share in the comments what part spoke to you the most. Let me know where you're watching from. I always appreciate hearing from you. Your support helps this small cabin in the woods continue reaching people who might need a moment of reflection. And remember, the quietest growth often becomes the strongest. Again, take care of yourselves, Aries, and until next time, walk gently, think deeply, and trust the wisdom growing within you.